Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gamestack Podcast right here on We Just Love Games Network. Man, Shalene, that intro, it never gets old. Hey?
A good one.
It's
It's
a
a good one.
How you doing? Welcome back to the show.
Doing okay. Yeah. How are you?
Happy holidays and happy new year to you.
Thank
Because
you.
the
You
last
too.
time we did a show, I think, was
It was
before Christmas.
pre-Christmas. Yes.
How was your Christmas?
It was really nice. Yeah, I had a good Christmas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did Santa bring you everything you wanted?
Actually, yes. Do you want to jump right into the news? Do you want yeah.
Oh,
Do
that's
you want to jump
right.
right into it?
Well, just for the listeners, you're listening to episode 196, Ring in the New Year. And I'm not sure why we titled this show Ring in the New Year, Shalene.
Because Santa brought me a ring for Christmas. An engagement ring. Archie and I are engaged. He asked me to marry him. I said yes. I'm so excited so much.
Oh, that's such good news. Congratulations to both
I
of
would
you.
show the ring, but it's being sized,
Oh,
so
is it?
I had
Oh,
to have it
okay.
sized.
Yeah.
So I'm just wearing a cheapy fake one right
I thought you
now.
were just going to say, I'm just wearing an onion ring right now.
Onion ring. But it is a lovely ring, and he put a lot of intention into it and a lot of thought into it, and um, it's beautiful, and he's beautiful, and I'm happy.
So how did he
So,
propose?
we did just like gift exchange on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So I gave him his gifts. I got him some shirts and a wallet and stuff, um, and then he gave me this present sack, and I opened the present sack, and there's like a baby Yoda plushie. And I'm like, oh, baby Yoda plushie, that's so nice. And I was like, there's more in here. There's more
Tosses
in
it
this
behind her.
bag. And under, like, the cardboard in the bottom of the gift bag, he had stuck under the cardboard in the gift bag was the little box, the little wrapped ring-sized box, and I was like, suspicious, and I opened it, and there it was, diamond ring. And I started freaking out a little bit. And he's like, is that a yes? I'm like, to what? You didn't ask.
So logical.
And he asked me to
Aw.
marry him, and I was like, yes, and I was sobbing, and
Yeah,
it was a nice time.
that's
And
huge. Amazing. I just want to acknowledge that your story started here
it really did.
with the
It
two of
really,
you,
really did. Yeah.
right?
I met this man because of this podcast. So um yes, I would have never met you if not for the podcasts.
So there you have it, folks.
For the yeah, true. For the podcasting in general, because technically I met him because of Off the Record. Um, but yeah.
But we are a podcast of generations. People have been
Yes.
married,
It's
people
all the
have been
same.
and have been born in the times that we have done the shows. This is episode 196, Ring in the New Year. Thank you all for joining us on this little corner of the
And
internet.
thanks for letting me gush
And
about my
how
exciting
was
news.
your New Year's? What did you do for New Year's, Shalene?
We had a pretty quiet New Year's. He had to work, so and I'm a sleepy girl, so I
Right.
was in bed by like 8:30 anyway.
Yeah.
So we had a quiet New Year, but
Excellent.
yeah. How about you?
Yeah, it was good. We very bitterly made our way through Christmas this year because we were not in California.
Yes.
So we didn't actually we didn't even set up, like, Carlo and I didn't have a tree set up because we were worried that the dog was gonna like tear it down.
Aww.
So yeah, but we did spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with his parents, and then I, in the second half of Christmas Day, went and spent Christmas with my family briefly, because that's about all you can handle. I showed up at like 8 p.m. after the dinner for like 1 hour, and then everyone was like, "Oh, I'm tired. I gotta go." And I was like, "Yep, that's my cue. See you later." So uh, timed it perfectly. And I think I will do that next year as well,
Yeah.
if we're not in California.
Sometimes limited doses are best for especially the extended family. I know mine can be a lot when they're all in the same room together.
It
It's
was a lot. It was a lot, and this year has been a lot. So Christmas to me was more about a time of reflection than
mm,
connecting with people. So a time of
yeah.
self reflection than it was connecting with people. So, but New Year's was nice. I we did a lot of tabletop gaming, so I played and learned how to play mahjong,
Oh,
which is
fun.
actually so much fun. And we got so into it that I sewed Carlo's mom, my partner. I sewed a custom mahjong mat that fits her table.
That is
Um,
so fun.
I have to show you. It's not in the screenshots and stories, but there's the mat that I
Beautiful.
sewed, and it has little pockets on it and stuff. Um,
You have so many
so
skills.
there we are playing mahjong, and it's so
Nice.
ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of fun
I
mixing
am
it all
just so
together.
impressed with you.
I just went to Fabergland and I bought like
Yeah.
$30 worth of felt, and then I was like, I texted my sister. I'm like, hey, are you busy today? She's like, why? I'm like, well, I have to make a mahjong mat. Bet you didn't have that on
She's
your
like,
bingo
of
card,
course you
right?
do.
Of course, yeah.
Of course you do.
But somehow she countered with roping me into putting together a loft bed from IKEA, which was like a 5-hour process. So
Yeah, so that
in
was
the
like the price of
end,
using the sewing machine.
in the end, she owes me like 3 more mahjong mats because, yeah. So, but it was a
That's
fun time.
delightful.
Yeah. So we played lots of mahjong and ate lots of food, and now it's January 3rd, and yeah. We just have to go back to reality now.
Yeah, I am not looking forward to going back to the full work schedule next week because
Mm-hmm.
like, I had Christmas week completely off. Well, we
Yeah.
went in Monday, but I had the rest of the week completely off. And then this last week, I worked Monday and then I had 2 days off, and then Thursday and Friday were half days.
Yep.
So now I have to go back to like a 5 day week, and I don't know
Yes.
if I'm ready for that kind of commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Meanwhile, Archon's over there being bitter because he hasn't had a day off in like 15 days. But
Every time you mention it, it increases by 2 days. Anyways, we do have a show to talk about tonight. We thank you all for joining us and hope that you have all equally had a good holiday season. And when I say that, I don't mean that you've spent time with family or friends, but you spent it doing what you wanted to do. And you were able to enjoy it in the way that you like to enjoy the holidays. Don't forget the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. And thank you to our listeners who are joining us live this evening for Friday live recording of the show. But if people miss the show, Shalene, how can they listen?
well, there are many ways you can listen. Of course, there's always the Twitch archive, and I post the video to YouTube, and we also post the audio to all of your major podcast platforms, iTunes, iHeart, whatever's still up. A lot of the podcast platforms died last year. I don't think there's Google Podcast anymore. I don't think there's Stitcher anymore. But we are on Audible, I think. What's that one everybody uses? Spotify.
Spotify.
We're on Spotify.
Spotify.
So, pretty much wherever you get podcasts, you'll find us. And if you don't find us, if we are not on your podcast platform of choice, let me know and I'll see if I can fix that.
And then we also have our Discord community, which you can join by going to twitch.tv/we just love games and navigating to the about section of our Twitch page, where you can get a link that will bring you directly into our Discord. That is our chat after dark, as Rick likes to call it. And it's been a really nice time following along the plant stack and especially the food stack channel over the last couple of weeks. Everyone has been posting, their holiday dinners or their baking or their recipes, their family secret recipes that they've been hoarding all of these years. And of course, the lobby is always the best place to start in the Discord when you get in there. Just introduce yourself and say hi. We love to have you.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great place to hang out with like-minded nerds.
it is. Yes. We do have some news. We got a little bit of stocks. Shalene and I are going to talk about our gameplay. We have a Gamestack challenge for you and some screenshots and stories. Let's hop into it with this just in.
So, we're gonna start off with January new releases. Do you want me to do these this time?
If you're feeling ambitious, but I can do them.
I can do them.
Okay.
I think I'd like to do the January new
Sure.
releases. We've got a big list here. And just to be clear, this is the GameSpot list. So if there are issues on this, do not blame Joseph Tao. Um, we're gonna start out with yesterday.
Sorry.
On
Sorry.
the PS5, Wuthering Waves released. Um, I wonder if that's like Wuthering Heights or what. Like, I don't know. Um, it's like the sequel to Wuthering Heights. It's
It's PS5
angsty romance
exclusive,
on the
so
sea.
yeah.
On January 7th, you can get Sea Fantasy on the PC and also E's Memoir, The Oath in Felghana on the
Mm.
PS5, PS4, and the Switch. On January 10th, Freedom Wars Remastered is available on PC, PS5, PS4, and Switch. January 14th, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank comes to iOS and Android.
Wait, is this like an Animal Crossing spin-off of like what's her face's sister? What's her name? That sells the
I forgot her name. Daisy May? Is it
Daisy
Daisy
May
May?
says sells the
Yeah.
turnips on Sundays.
I I don't think it's quite that. But some of my
Daisy
dames
May
play
has she's fallen on hard times, right? So yeah.
the turnip market was
Yeah.
too
What were
volatile.
you saying about the dames before I so
One of my
rudely cut you
dames
off?
played the predecessor to this game, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Fraud or Tax Evasion. I don't remember exactly, and it was recommended.
Oh,
So
really? Excellent.
yeah. Mhm. On January 16th, you can play Blade Chimera on PC and Switch. Also on the Switch, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I love Donkey Kong games. They're so good.
Mhm.
Also on January 16th, Morkel Regast's Rage on PC and the Xbox. Yoburai Detective: Miasma Breaker on the Switch. And on January the 177th,
It's a long month, Shalene.
you can get Dynasty Warriors: Origins for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Also on the 17th, Tales of Grace's F remastered for like everything. Um, so it's like a lowercase f, and I want to know if that's intentional that it's a lowercase f, that we've abandoned the capitalization conventions of uh proper names. I don't know. F in the chat for Tales of Graces. Um on January 22nd, Ender Magnolia: Broom in the Mist on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch.
Correction, it's
Um,
actually Bloom in the Mist. I'm changing the titles on you because
why are you doing such a thing?
because why
Oh my
not?
gosh. Ender Magnolia is already such a weird title. What what is the Ender Magnolia? I don't. Oh my goodness, it's already a silly title. You're making it more silly. Um, January the 3rd, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is on the PC. Also on January 23rd, we have Guilty Gear Strive on the Switch, Raven's Watch on the Switch, and Star Wars Episode 1: Jedi Power Battles on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, and Switch. I need to know why there isn't a Star Wars Episode 1 game coming out now in the year of our Lord 2025.
The year of our
I
Lord 2025.
I need more information. Why is this coming out
I
now?
don't know, Shalene. I don't know. It's animated? It
Okay, so
look at these funky robots running around everywhere. Is this
Aspire, okay.
Oh, it's really poorly it's
Is
really
is
bad.
this an old game? Did this
It's
originally come out in
it's
2000?
Lara Croft level of
Oh, this is
graphics.
terrible. This is abysmal.
Is it purposely this bad?
I think it must be like from the days of the Phantom Menace.
Is this a new wave of video games that we're going to see happening in 2025?
This is like okay,
Like
like you
those
know
kids that go
how
back to flip phones, we're just going to have a bunch of really crappy graphics.
oh, look at low poly big head Liam Neeson. Oh my gosh. Ooh, so this has to
Okay.
be like a remake or a remaster or something of an old
I don't know,
game.
it's terrible. It's
Wow.
terrible.
That is a that's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
Also on January 23rd, Synduality: Echo of Ada
What is
on
this?
PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Um, are we watching this? Are we checking this
Is
out?
this an anim? Oh, it's like a first person shooter?
Synduality.
Yeah, it's first person shooter.
That's actually third person.
Third
When
person
you're looking
shooter.
over the shoulder,
Right.
that is third
You're
person.
not wrong, but nobody can see
Mhm.
that, so they don't believe you.
Also, okay, so on January 28th, Cuisinier on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. Eternal Strands on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Neptunia Riders versus Doggos on PS5, PS4, and Switch. Orcs Must Die! Exclamation point Death Trap on PC, Xbox Series X
Do
and
they
S.
even care about game names anymore? Like
I don't
what
know.
what I don't even know what is happening.
Also on January 8th, 28th, The Stone of Madness for PC, Switch, PS5. Um, Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and the Switch. Did you play the first Tales of Iron?
No. No.
I heard it was a good one. I heard it was a great game.
Tales of Iron 2 Whiskers of Winter is what I had last night when it was minus 39 Fahrenheit.
Oh dear. Virtua Fighter 5 Revo on PC on January the 28th. Warside on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Switch on the 28th. And moving on to the 30th, we have Card Fight! Exclamation point. Vanguard Dear Days 2. Wow, that is a game name. That is available for the PC and Switch. Gimmick 2 on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One. Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero on PS5, PS4, and Switch. Sniper Elite: Resistance on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. On January 30th, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 comes to PC. So if
Can we just like there's all these games that are like blah 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 2, something
mhm,
something 2.
mhm.
I almost am inclined to develop a video game and then make a sequel and call it something something also. Because like,
That's
right?
cute. That is
How
pretty cute.
how unoriginal. Everything is the same name as the first one you made. You just put a 2 after it. Like just like anyways, carry on.
We've
I digress.
also got Techno Banter. That would be a great podcast name, wouldn't it?
Techno banter?
Techno Banter. I,
Yeah.
I feel like that is exactly what you should call a
Maybe we
podcast.
should make a spin-off of Gamestack and call it
Techno Banter.
Game Banter. Stack Banter?
Techno Banter comes out on January 30th for PC, PS5, Xbox Series XS, and Switch. Also on January 30th, Wizardry: The Five Ordeals for Switch. Um, Five Ordeals of the colon sounds like a bad time. Sounds like a bad time to me.
Yeah.
And on January 31st, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector for
I am
PC.
really excited about this.
Yes, you liked the first one,
Yes. This
and
is
it
on
was a
PC.
recommendation from our dear friend Jessica Starr.
Yeah, and this is on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and
Mm-hmm.
S, and Switch on the 31st. Sorry, I should cut you off there, Shalene. But this was a top contender for me, I think, last year for the Stackies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the year prior for Jessica Starr as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was her top contender. Um, the story writing in Citizen Sleeper was top notch. So I am
Yeah.
very excited for um Citizen Sleeper 2, and I wonder if they're going to keep with the main the previous character. I am seeing some familiar names here, so
Interesting.
yeah, it looks like there is some carryover, but also see a lot of new names. So yeah,
Fun.
I highly recommend Citizen Sleeper for those of you who haven't played it.
Well, it was not on the list, but Taz in the chat says that on January 27th, we will get Space Engineers 2 um, on January the 27th. So is that not already out? Let me Google
We
this.
did announce that in last month's, I think, last month's thing. Although, why would we have if it was
No, it
December?
says pre-purchase on Steam, so maybe it's in beta or something. Well, it's not out yet.
Who
So,
knows? Who knows? Space
yeah.
Engineers 2. Check it out.
So,
You
that's
know what I also love though, Shalene? Free stuff.
really,
Are there any free games?
there might be. Let's have a look. Free games for,
I feel like we needed a bumper there.
yeah, I did too.
Like some
I
like
made that dramatic announcement and
sparkly magical bumper.
I
Yeah.
wish we had some kind of a bumper.
Yeah.
Um, so if you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber, your monthly free games for January include Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, Need for Speed: Hot Pursuit Remastered, and The Stanley Parable: Ultra Deluxe. I haven't played that version of Stanley Parable, but I did play the original Stanley Parable, and it was an absolutely brilliant game. I
Yeah, I
adored
was
it.
gonna ask you that. I thought that you had played it at some point.
Highly recommend
Hmm.
the Stanley Parable. I should play
Okay.
Ultra Deluxe. I hear they added enough to make it worth another playthrough.
Oh,
So,
really? Hmm.
mhm, indeed. And let's see here. On Twitch Prime, we've got, if you are a Twitch Prime subscriber, you can get two new PC games for free in January of 2025. The Eastern Exorcist, available on the Epic Games Store, and also The Bridge, also available on the Epic Games Store. I've never heard of the Eastern Exorcist, and I'm clicking through to check this out. Play
Good.
as a skilled exorcist against chaotic evil. This looks like a side-scrolling slasher, hack and slash. It's beautiful art style.
Love me a good exorcist.
Mm-hmm. And it really spins me right round, baby, right round. Um,
Get out.
and the
Get out.
bridge
Doors over there.
is it's an older game. It is black and white, and it is a physics bending situation. It's been out for a long time. It's kind of some it plays with perspective in some interesting ways.
Hmm.
And let's see here. On the Epic Games Store, they had been doing for the holiday season a free game every day. It included games like Control, Kingdom Come Deliverance, all kinds of good stuff. But currently that's ended, and from now until January 9th, you can get Hell Let Loose on the Epic Games Store for free.
Nice.
And that is the free stuff that I was able to find.
Okay. And how about the news? What do you got for news? Wait, I have a bumper.
Yay!
That's all I got.
Okay, so we have a little bit of news.
Or you want me to do the news? Is that are we switching roles here?
Yeah, let's do it. Take the news.
Oh no. What did I shut up. You've got to keep your mouth shut. Okay. Yeah, let's see what we've got in the news here. This article comes to us from Game Horizon by Eng. Japan has broken new records, shocking nobody at all that Animal Crossing New Horizons has hit new records in Japan as the best-selling physical game of all time,
Of all
surpassing titles
time.
surpassing titles that held the crown for decades. Um, yes, yes. Physical copies isn't as common as it used to be, right? We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Many players do prefer digital downloads, which makes this achievement even that much more incredible. Almost 30 years have passed for the record belonging to Pokemon Red and Green, which sold an impressive 7.93 million copies. But now, New Horizons, Animal Crossing New Horizons, has broken that record at the 8 million mark in physical copies. And this information comes to us from Famitsu, a reliable source for gaming statistics in Japan. And the game's longevity since its 2020 release has helped it reach its milestone. Nintendo hasn't announced any specific details about a new Animal Crossing game, but with rumors swirling about a new console with the Nintendo Switch, we may expect to see something in the realm of Animal Crossing, hopefully. It is harder to know how this record stacks up, though. Physical sales are tricky to track, especially outside of Japan. Digital sales, however, tell a different story. Many games far exceed what Animal Crossing has achieved in physical form. Um, so, just to give you an idea, in the number 3 slot, Pokemon Gold and Silver at 7.17 million physical copies, and Super Mario Brothers not far behind at 6.8 million copies. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit surprising to me that Super Mario Brothers is not in the top 3.
Yeah, that is surprising to me too.
Yeah. But for example, Minecraft has sold a staggering 238 million copies, GTA 5 following with 170 million, and other mega hits include Wii Sports with 83 million, PUBG at 75 million, and even
Wait, physical
Overwatch.
copies of PUBG?
I assume
Who's buying
so.
physical copies of PUBG?
I assume
I want
well
to
this
meet these
this
people.
has to be digital, right? This has to be
Has to be.
yeah,
It
yeah.
has to be.
The article doesn't specify, but yeah. Um yeah, so 46 million copies of Animal Crossing have been sold when you combine both physical and digital formats, making it the second best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch of all time. Only Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has done better than that.
Hmm.
And although Animal Crossing may not dominate the gaming market worldwide in terms of sales records, it is still a bit of a phenomenon. And because it is just such an endearing game. We've both played it. We've both been addicted to it.
Hmm.
I play it every morning. Still,
Such a good game.
it is so good. Any thoughts on that, Shalene?
No, I don't find it terribly surprising. And I do find it a little bit endearing that this very wholesome game has set this record. It gives me some hope in humanity,
Mm-hmm.
frankly.
Mm-hmm. More hope in humanity. The creators of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 have posted on social media that they are sending out Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 review codes in the next few days. Yes, 4 weeks ahead of the release. So, and they say, Sir Toby at Sir Toby28
Yeah,
says,
he is the PR manager for Warhorse Studios.
Thank you. From now on, everything will be in the lap of the review gods. Please be kind. Not gonna lie, I am nervous, but also excited. 6 years of work leaving the nest. If you haven't been selected as a reviewer, don't be sad. Try to reach out to your local at PlayOn representative, not me. I don't have any codes. In any case, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is almost here. Expect some final first impressions next week. And
Mhm.
I wonder, I'd be curious to see what Rick has to say about that because he did play Kingdom Come Deliverance and he
He
loved it.
did,
Yeah.
yes. I really enjoyed his stories from the first Kingdom Come. And I thought this was especially notable because we hear so many stories about game companies limiting who their review codes go to only people that they think that will be favorable in their reviews, or they wait to send code out until like the day after release,
Yeah,
things like that. And seeing these codes going out over a month in advance of the release date of the game is so promising. I feel like they know what they have, and they're confident in their product, and I think we can hope for a very good game in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. So
agree.
yeah,
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance is something I would like to play, but yeah.
it's been on the stack for a long time for me, and I've watched a lot of other people play it. I've watched a lot of Twitch playthroughs, and Archon played it, so I watched over his shoulder quite a bit. And I don't think you ever finished it, did you? No, he never finished it. But he did sink quite a few hours into this game, and it does some interesting things.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Well, some more news in the new year that you can expect with changes and record breaking sales, amongst other things, and new games, is the change of some developers. We will see this. This article comes to us from Chris Care at Game Developer. Tango Gameworks relaunches under the new name Crafton Ownership. In a stunning comeback, acclaimed game developer Tango Gameworks has officially relaunched as Tango Gameworks Incorporated, now operating under the ownership of Crafton, the company that brought to you PUBG. This announcement was made earlier today through a social media post on X stating, "We're excited to continue crafting games that bring joy to players around the world. Thank you for your continued support as we embark on this new journey." And this marks a fresh chapter for the Japanese studio, which was abruptly shut down by former parent company Microsoft in May of 2024, amid widespread layoffs and studio closures, including the shuttering of Alpha Dog Games and Arcane Austin. Despite the critical and commercial success of Hi Fi Rush, which was described as a breakout hit by Xbox executives, Tango was deemed surplus to Microsoft's requirements and faced an uncertain future until Crafton stepped in. So, acquiring Tango in August 2024, Crafton vowed to preserve the studio's legacy and allow its talented developers to continue working on Hi Fi Rush and future projects. And in an interview with the game developer, Crafton CEO Changhan Kim described the purchase as a last minute deal aimed at fostering creativity and innovation. Kim also acknowledged that titles like Hi Fi Rush might not generate massive revenue, but emphasized the importance of supporting studios willing to push creative boundaries. And the team does plan to expand, potentially hiring at least 100 new employees, including many of its former staff members, as the studio sets its sights on new projects and potentially a new sequel to Hi Fi Rush. So Kim has assured fans that Crafton has no plans to downsize the team and hinted at even more growth, promising that Tango Gameworks is just getting started. So
very good news.
stay tuned as we bring you some more updates from Tango Gameworks. And Shalene, what's your impression on this?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I mean, we were really glad to see Crafton step in to buy Tango Gameworks when Microsoft divested themselves of the developer, and seeing that they are retaining basically everything. They've been saved in C2
Yeah.
is it's a positive message. I'm glad that they'll be able to keep making great games.
Yeah, I think it's going to be this is one of those good stories that we don't get very often
Yes, yes.
because it's always
We're
like
always doom and gloom.
in the universe that we often expect, it would have been Tango Gameworks has been shut down and
Mm-hmm.
6,000 people have been laid off and left to the
Mm-hmm.
streets. Like,
Yes.
but
They canceled everyone's health care on Christmas morning.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I for one welcome good news like this, and I'm excited to see where Tango Gameworks heads in their direction. Yeah.
Yes.
And one final article to bring to you. Um, And this article comes to us from GameSpot.
GameSpot.com.
Great GameSpot, yeah. Blair Marnell writes about how this Half-Life actor stirs up Half-Life 3 rumors with a cryptic New Year's message. So for over 20 years, fans of the Half-Life series have been holding their breath for any sign of a third installment. And now a cryptic New Year's message has reignited speculation that Half-Life 3 may be on the horizon. Mike Shapiro.
I I would love it if you wouldn't mind just playing this audio clip.
Okay, so
The visuals I don't think are terribly important, but if you could play it for so the podcast folks could hear it, would
no,
that
I'm just
be
gonna play the whole thing. Except I've got to bring the audio back into the mix
Mhm.
here. Um, yeah. So there we go. Let's play the clip and then I'll talk about it.
Good to see and hear from so many of you. May the next quarter century deliver as many unexpected surprises as did the millenniums first. And again, time is fluid, like music. See you in the new year.
Okay, so that broke the internet, right? That is the voice of Mike Shapiro behind the enigmatic G-Man, who took to social media platform X to share a mysterious audio clip that you just heard that has fans buzzing, Shalene. Slipping
Yes.
back into his unsettling character voice, Shapiro said, "May the next quarter century deliver as many unexpected surprises as did the millenniums first." And then added, "See you in the new year." And the message has sent fans into a frenzy, especially after recent rumors from Valve insider Gabe Follower suggested that Half-Life 3 has entered private play testing among developers, close friends, and family. If that is true, it is a development shrouded in secrecy, as no further evidence has emerged from the confirmed claim. Fans of the iconic series have long waited closure to the cliffhanger ending of the 2007 Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which left players pondering about the fate of its heroes. Plans for Episode 3, set in the Arctic, were scrapped after just 6 months of development, as revealed in Valve's Half-Life 2 documentary released just last year. Since then, the only new entry in the series has been 2020's VR prequel Half-Life Alyx, leaving fans yearning for more. There's still no official word from Valve. Shapiro's eerie message has added fuel to the fire of speculation. Could this be the year that Half-Life 3 finally emerges from the shadows, Shalene?
I mean, it could be, and it could also be that Shapiro is trolling us. Um, because he knew this would cause the internet to buzz. He had to know that. But it was a fun message, and even if nothing else comes of it, it was fun to hear that G-Man creepy voice again.
Yeah.
But it does like I have a little hope now. I felt like the hope was dead for a continuation of the Half-Life saga, and I just loved those games, like so many of us did. Um, and I do have a little bit of hope now that maybe we'll get another. And I just think it would be hilarious, absolutely hilarious, if we got Half-Life 3 before GTA 6. I just think that would be the silliest thing ever. Taz in the chat says, didn't he also do Barney as well? Yes, I believe he did.
Like the voice of Barney?
Yeah, the voice of Barney in Half-Life. You're
Oh,
thinking about probably like Barney the
like yogurt
dinosaur.
is good for you.
No, Barney was a character
I
in
have
Half-Life.
trauma from
Yeah.
the Barney stuffy that was in my closet in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be
Was
my
was it evil?
friend? Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
I love you. You love me. um
Arguably creepier than the G-Man.
yes. Yes,
But
rightly
yeah,
so.
I do hope that maybe we will maybe this new year will bring us a new Half-Life, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
Wouldn't hold your breath.
No.
All right, well, let's hop into the stocks. This one you can hold your breath for. Do you want to try it? Sony closed out at $21.32, down just 30 cents. Microsoft at $423.35, up $13.25. Nintendo up $1 or 89 cents at $14.69. Take Two at $188.75, $6.78 increase. EA at $146.29, down $1.50. Tencent also down $1.50 at $53.15, and Roblox closed out at $60.47, up 36 cents. That is that is the GameStop segment. Thank you all for listening. Let's move on to mail stack.
You've got mail.
Have we got any mail, Shalene?
I think we do. Let me just find it. Scroll. Okay.
Just jumping back to Barney, Sulior in the chat says not as bad as Furbies though, and I must agree with that. That is a good take on creepy
Furbies are
kid
mad
toys.
creepy.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Let's see here. Okay. Alexandra asks, if Fallout were to release games located in other countries, would you want them to collab with devs from that country? My answer is 1,000% yes. I know the language barrier could be problematic, but overall, I think it would be so respectful to have devs from China or the UK or Australia, etc., participate, especially since they like to be fairly loyal to geography and landmarks and such. And I think that's a really interesting question. Do you want me to go through some of the listener answers while you're thinking about it?
Yep.
So Schneewolf is the first answer, and Schneewolf says, in Germany, absolutely not. I'd prefer to have a good game when it's finished. I'd just like them to have advisors from here that help them with recreating the area and the feeling of the area that they want to recreate, because the accuracy there would be awesome. But the actual developing should be done by people from a country that isn't collectively scared of the internet and all things digital. In other countries would be lovely. The game might benefit greatly from that. And I commented on this one. I don't think I want Fallout to be set in other countries. I think that the Americanness that is inherent in the series, both when it's earnest and when it's sardonic, is really important to the feeling of the games. I'm not sure that a Fallout game set in another country would be the same. But that's just my opinion, man.
I'd like to hear from the people that have played Fallout London.
Yes, and we will get to that. Schneewolf says Americana is a huge part of Fallout and it shouldn't be a mainline title, but Fallout London proved that the concept works outside the US. And they would love some European spin-offs. I haven't played Fallout London, so but that was something that I thought about when it came out. Do I even want this? Do I even want this?
Yeah, I mean, we heard that Fallout London was good, but I kind of agree with you that there's something about the mid-mod sort of nostalgia that you get in the Americanness of Fallout that you're not going to really get that somewhere else. And there have been other games created to fill that universe, right?
Right.
Ghost of Tsushima, I think, is a good example of an Asian backdrop of like a post-apocalyptic world.
It's not post-apocalyptic.
Oh,
it's
which
historical.
it's not Ghosts of what's the one I'm thinking of then?
I have no idea what you're thinking about.
Well, it doesn't matter. Carry on.
Yeah. Alexandra goes on to say, yeah, I would mostly just love to know what happened elsewhere. Did everyone adapt the American 50s style, or did they pick their own favorite revered time in their own history? How bad was it? What about places you wouldn't expect, like Egypt? Did the Sphinx statues come to life or something? Okay, maybe not that, but did they make vaults of their own under the pyramids? I have so many questions. And that is a good point. Green Camp says Egypt and surrounding areas who had oil would either be glass or parking lots. Sun-dried ghouls, natural resources would be drained.
Scarabs the size of rabbits.
Schneewolf says the only location I want them to avoid is China. I feel that would take away from the mystery about the war with China, how intense that was during the last months before the strike. and who launched the nukes.
Mm.
And the conversation does continue to go on a little bit, but I think we've covered it pretty well. What are your thoughts? Would you want Fallout set in other countries? Is that
The only thing that I would probably like would be neighboring countries. So if there's a Fallout that's set where you go over the border into Mexico, or you go over the border into Canada, and there's a part of that that's like part of the story maybe. Um but other than that, I can't really foresee that it would have a purpose. I mean, Atomic Hearts, I think, is a good example of like um that sort of
mm-hmm.
post-apocalyptic universe in, was it
Yeah.
Russia? I think.
No, I think Atomic Hearts was in the UK.
Is it really?
I think so. No, I'm not sure. I may be thinking of a different game.
Maybe it's set in the USSR.
I might be thinking of a different game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I do understand, especially for people who are from other countries, wanting that because like I love Fallout. But I've also gotten to experience a Fallout game that feels like it's basically set where I live, in Fallout New Vegas. You know, all of the parts that are outside of New Vegas itself feel like New Mexico.
Well, and
And
let's be honest, a Fallout game set in Canada wouldn't be any different than it is set right now. It would just be trees and bush
Mhm.
as far as the eye can see. So,
Yeah. So interesting. Do
anyways,
you want to do another mail stack or
yeah,
move on
let's
to
do
the
one
next
more.
thing?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
I'm feeling ambitious.
RTZ writes, Hiya, this Christmas you're gifted 200 hours of stress-free gaming time while the rest of the world stops. What games are you playing? What are you finishing? And I'll go through some of the community answers while you think
200
about that.
hours? That's not a lot of time. If you think
It
about
is
it.
a lot of time. It
Is it?
really is.
Is
That's
it?
like half a Skyrim playthrough. Um, Kawaii Banana Sushi says, I really want to play Outer Worlds. I didn't have the means to play it when it came out, so I need to catch up. It looks like a world I want to explore.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, and Fire and Gasoline says, that's a great question. For me, it's going to be all the DLCs I didn't get to play. So Fallout 76, Destiny, Sea of Thieves, and then for new games, Indiana Jones and the Tears of the Kingdom. I
Ooh.
need more hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frankles says Dragon Age Veilguard and Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Wolf says Baldur's Gate 3 and Control. Control has been on my stack for ages, but I never get around to actually playing it. I've played the first bit of Control and it's bloody brilliant. So I do recommend playing Control. I maybe I'll finish it now that I get my new
New
computer
PC.
built.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll finish some things. RTZ says that Baldur's Gate 3 is a solid choice, and he doesn't know how long Metaphor ReFantazio, but it hooks him more and more the further he gets.
I still say that when you're done building your PC, the first game you need to play is like Minesweeper.
Yeah, I mean it's probably gonna be. I mean it's definitely
you need to play Solitaire just to
Mhm.
make sure that you can play games on
Yes.
it.
What about you? What are you gonna do with your 200 hours of uninterrupted gaming time?
Well, I'm definitely gonna finish Harold Halibut, because I've been playing that and it's absolutely fantastic. I probably would jump into Hogwarts Legacy, maybe finish Death Stranding, and of course play some American Truck Simulator.
Nice.
Yeah, 200 uninterrupted hours. That's not a lot of time when you think about it. Some of the games that I've played, lots of hours into these games. I have 240 hours in Deep Rock Galactic alone. So how many hours do I have in American Truck Simulator?
I don't even want to know.
730.
Are you sure that's accurate? I feel like that's not enough.
No, it's definitely. I have 83 hours in Fallout 76. How embarrassing. Anyways, Yeah.
Wait. I didn't get to answer.
Okay, you answer.
For my hypothetical 200 hours of uninterrupted gaming time, I think I'm gonna go do another playthrough of Fallout 3.
That's exactly it. It's like not necessarily games that are new that you want to play or that you haven't gotten to. It's
Because
games that you love.
this is free time. This is time that is separate from real time. It's a little pocket universe, pocket dimension that you can go to.
Because we
And
just love games.
I think I'm just gonna spend it on another Fallout 3 playthrough.
No one can discount you for wanting that. So, yeah. Anyways, if
Yeah.
you'd like to write into the show, you can go into our Discord and type your letter into the Mailstack channel, and we will talk about it on the show. Yeah. Let's talk about what the community's been playing. All right, screenshots and stories, and we've got a bit of a backlog from the holiday season. So some of these screenshots are going to be Christmas themed, which is perfectly all right. This first screenshot comes to us from Alex. She says, feeling festive in World of Warcraft. Also, I'm a tiny dragon with rockets on my back. And first of all, she posts this beautiful screenshot of her character
She's got
in
a
a
little
Christmas
Christmas
outfit.
puffin on her head.
Yes, and there's a little like individual cloud of snowflakes falling on her head. I love it.
So cute.
And then also this ridiculous one of presumably Alex's mom, right?
Mhm.
We know that this is Alex's mom because she's like 2.5 feet
The
tall.
tiny character, yeah.
And she's standing in front of a giant snowman, and next to the snowman is a wonderful Christmas tree with giant presents bigger than her mom around the bottom of the Christmas tree. It is great.
Is it just me, or is that snowman a little bit menacing? The way that his arms are shaped?
Yes, his eyebrows look very suspicious.
I don't
Yes.
trust this snowman.
Mm-hmm. And then also this one of her on the back of some sort of dragony dude. Yeah. Then we have this post. This looks to be from, what is this from? Stray.
This is, yeah.
Yeah, this is Kawaii Banana Sushi, who says, I just started Stray, and not only is it perhaps my favorite universe ever created, but I also found my NPC kindred spirit. In knitting, we generally quantify our yarn in yardage. 478 miles is 841,280 yards. Generally, each sweater I knit requires about 2,000 yards, more or less. I have knit 80 sweaters in the past 5 years, or approximately 160,000 yards. So, to catch up with her knitting, I have about 26 years of sweater knitting ahead of me. Looking through scarf patterns, I found that they, on average, require about 870 yards per scarf. So she probably knit around 967 scarves. That's a lot of scarves. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about knitting, the dialogue box for this NPC in Stray says grandma, and then she says, I do love knitting. So far, I've knitted 478 miles of scarves. It's something to do. And so
I adore this.
She
and
put
I
it in a
love
context.
the Kawaii Banana Sushi did the math.
Yes, and if you're curious, check out Kawaii Banana Sushi. She has her own knitting shop where she sells various yarns and knitted goods. So check that out. Next screenshot. We also have this one from Frankie. She says, one of my besties bought me Tiny Glade for Christmas. I am thoroughly absorbed in it. This is a country manor I spent an hour on this evening, and it's so cute. It's like a tilt shift style world builder, right? Where you can build little castles and stuff like that. And so she built this country manor. She also posts this one. This is a different angle of the country manor in the daytime. And yeah, I love this. I love the idea of this. It looks very relaxing. I bet you it's a really fun game to play.
This is very cute.
And then we have this silly posting. This is from Gaz.
This looks
and
like
he
a
says,
Monster Hunter game.
Forgot to watch the mini map while fishing. And can you explain it, Shalene?
Oh, wait. Can we talk about the fact that his palico is called Meowchiavelli? So the character is fishing with the Palico. The Palico's playing music, and a big monster just runs in from the side and just wrecks his day. Just completely wrecks their day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just want to talk about the fact that the Palico is named Meowchiavelli. It's so good.
Meowchiavelli. Yeah. And this one from Zephyr, this is, he says, I've been farming this mount in World of Warcraft for the better part of 13 years. And today
Oh,
I finally got it. Invincible Reigns.
that is a pretty majestic ghost horse.
13 years?
That's a long time
Can we
coming.
just talk about that? 13 years?
Commitment.
So if we count that in PhDs, that's approximately 2.5 PhDs.
That's 2.5 PhDs.
Yeah. Taz posted some Christmas photos as well from the WJLG Ranch and Vineyard. He says happy holidays, and he has this wonderful picture of his country home with a Christmas tree and Christmas lights out front and presents underneath.
That looks so good.
And then, of course, as always, the obligatory sunflower post for Shalene.
These bring me so much joy. I love the bee boxes in the background too.
Yeah, bee boxes. Also, this post from me, this is Harold Halibut. And I had to take a screen recording of this because he is cleaning graffiti off of the walls in the corridor, and the animation is so funny. He's like, it's like his arm is pulling him around the wall, like he's like using a Ouija board or something. It is so funny.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
That is such a silly way to clean graffiti.
Yeah. This is exactly how I'm going to clean the bathroom tiles in my shower from
Absolutely.
now on. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And this screenshot from Alex, she says, I wonder if she's cold. And this is
Canary.
Veilguard.
Mm-hmm.
Great character with the mountains in the background. Looks great. This one here from Alex says, Manfred is such a good boy. Best Skelly Butler. And I'm not sure. I think you can tell there's like skeletons everywhere holding trays,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some sort of gathering, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
And then this one from Alex, and I believe that this is some sort of cinematic screenshot because it looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But she says, I do believe I've made the most adorable dwarf girly ever. Her name is Zoe, but with an X because why not? They make them the same sound.
This hairstyle is absolutely amazing.
Yes, it reminds me a little bit of. I'm not sure.
That was quite a pause.
Like the Winifred, like
A little bit, yeah.
Hocus Pocus, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
It's such a good hairstyle.
Yeah, sorry, my brain stopped working for a minute there.
Vendor.exe has stopped working.
And then we didn't have any Gamestack challenge photos, but RTZ posted this.
Well, the Gamestack challenge was a text one this time.
Oh, that's right.
I asked for stories. So
oh, that's right. Gaming
that's
memories.
why it wasn't photos. I asked for gaming memories.
We have a couple gaming memories. I will get to that, but I just wanted to show this screenshot that RTZ posted. Says, purchased my first ever controller, about to start building those memories with little RTZ.
Yeah.
And that sparked my idea for the new Gamestack challenge, which is post a photo of your New Year's gaming resolutions. So it could be a game that you're looking to finish, start, buy, or add to the stack or get back to. So, but to go back to our Gamestack challenge, which was your Christmas memories of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex posted my Christmas memory of gaming related to the original Xbox with my cousins who lived in Seattle, and I only got to see once a year. We would play a snowboarding game, Crash Bandicoot, and Halo together all the time. It's basically all we did when the three of us were together, although one year they wouldn't let me play Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation, and so I never liked Kingdom Hearts since because I was so salty. That is her gaming memory. Chris Drake posts their gaming memory as well. My only Christmas gaming memory wasn't very good. Now that I have thought back on it, I'd have to say I was a little brat. I woke up Christmas morning early and excited all the kids. My excitement ended just as fast as it started when I found out my dad sitting at the table crying. Until that day, I never seen him cry, but I did find out that my great grandfather had passed away that morning. We were very close, and I saw him all the time. He was like my grandfather and not my great grandfather. I turned around and went back to bed. I didn't want this to be true. My dad came in, we talked about it for a little bit, and then I finally got to opening my gifts. And I was disappointed because I got an Xbox instead of a GameCube. And then I was upset about that. I probably would have been fine if I'd gotten the news about my grandfather, but
Mm-hmm.
that day just wasn't good enough from the start. But I did love the Xbox, and I was happy to have it later. And now when I think about it, that day I am ashamed. And then goes on to say, I'm glad that I'll have a good Christmas memory from this year. My grandson Carson got the Switch this year and a few games. One of my
Nice.
games, he got to create his own character, which turned out to look a lot like me. I asked him who's his character, and he told me, it's you. I asked him, why me? And he told me, because you're my superhero, and I must be doing something right. Anyways, hope everyone has a great
So
Christmas.
precious.
Yeah.
What a beautiful story. And
Yeah.
you shouldn't feel shame looking back. You were just a kid and you had a terrible thing happen. That was probably one of your earlier experiences with grief. And grief isn't easy even when you are an adult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
give yourself a little more grace, Chris Drake.
Yeah. What about you, Shalene? Gaming memory?
I think I've told it before, but I think my favorite one was one year I got my mom had bought us a Nintendo, and she bought it from a coworker who was getting their kid the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it came with like all the games that the other kids had. So it came with this huge box of games, and she let us open it on Christmas Eve night, and my brother and I were so excited. And Christmas morning, he
Once the
came and
game's
woke me
finally
up.
installed.
Hmm. Well, no, it wasn't Nintendo. They didn't have to
Oh yeah,
install
that's
back
right. That's
then.
right.
That was back in the day when games just worked. And he came in and woke me up, and it was early, early, and nobody had woken up yet. And we completely ignored our stockings and sat in the living room and played Duck Hunt until the rest of the family woke up.
Nice.
Yeah, it
That
was a
sounds
good
great.
day. It was a really good day.
For me, I think it was getting an N64.
It's a good one.
Yeah. And we had Super Mario 64,
Mm-hmm.
and like we played the crap out of that game, let me tell you. Hmm. And Castlevania and Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Those three. The Ocarina of Time.
The
Like,
Ocarina of Time.
I don't even know how many hours I put into that game. Hmm.
Such a classic.
Anyways, so the new Gamestack challenge for this week, post a photo of your New Year's gaming resolutions. So it could be a game that you're looking to finish, start, buy, or add to the stack or get back to. Or it could be a particular thing that you're working on in a game that you're like, I'm going to get this done. This is part of my gaming
Mm-hmm.
resolution. Hmm.
Something like an achievement, or like Zephyr getting that mount he'd been grinding for 13 years.
Yes. Yeah. I think I'm gonna make my gaming resolution to restart and actually play through Death Stranding.
That's a good one.
Because I
I
started it and then I got stuck and then I walked away from it and I never went back.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna have this fancy schmancy new PC, so
I'm so excited.
yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyways, let's talk about what we've been playing. So I've been driving around the winter wonderland that is American Truck Simulator, as you know. It's been a grand time. I have actually not gone and checked out the new California DC or DLC, because SCS did a rework of California, and I was saying before Christmas that I was going to spend some time playing that because we weren't going to California. But I
Mhm.
haven't played it because I'm still bitter about not going to California, and I don't want to be reminded that I'm not in California. So, anyways, that's where I'm at with the California rework with SCS. But eventually, I will get over that psychological hurdle and do some driving in California. I did partake in the Animal Crossing Christmas. So I helped Jingle
Mm-hmm.
hand out presents, which was so much fun. And I was able to catch the New Year's countdown this year, which was kind of tragic because I was in at my partner's place and we were like watching the New Year's countdown in Puerto Rico because that was the only channel that we had.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, so we were like counting down in like Spanish. It was so
I
funny.
love that. That's hilarious.
But also at the same time, on one hand, I had my Switch there and I was counting down at the same time. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Last year I missed the New Year's because
Mm-hmm.
we went to bed at like 9. So because everyone was so tired. But I did ring in the new year by playing about 5 hours of mahjong. And that is so much fun to play when you are just chilling around the house. I have hopped back into Cyberpunk, and I've started my playthrough as a street kid. So it's really cool to sort of like redo some of the quest lines and like make my way through the main story because there's so many things. It's like watching a movie or a show. When you rewatch it, you see things that you missed the first time around,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm doing this playthrough, and this is only my second playthrough of Cyberpunk. So
Right.
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. I really should have actually gotten the ultimate DLC or whatever, the ultimate pack or whatever it is.
Yeah, with the Phantom Liberty and
Phantom Liberty, yeah, but I think maybe I'll do that on my third playthrough. I have to sneeze.
bless you in advance. That looked like a dramatic sneeze.
Ugh, my sneezes are always very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And I started a new game.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, because Boxing Day in Canada is a thing. It's our Black Friday, right? So there was all these games on sale. I had like 20 games in my cart. I was going to buy all these games and then I was like, well, actually no, I need to buy like house stuff. So I settled on 2 games. I bought Firewatch for $2 and some cents, and I
Mm-hmm.
bought Harold Halibut. It was 50% off, so I got it for like $20 or something. And so I've been playing Harold Halibut, and you know about Harold Halibut, right, Shalene?
Not really. Like I remember we talked about it on a previous episode of the stack, but I don't remember much what it was.
So Harold Halibut is set in the premise of humanity's future, hundreds of years in the future. And it is a community of people that set out into the universe from Earth because Earth is basically destroyed. There's nothing left of it.
So it's like a generation ship situation?
Yes. And the ship crashes on this planet that they believe to be fully an ocean planet. There's no land
Mhm.
whatsoever. And so they're trying to survive in this generation ship that they've sort of pieced back together. But it's actually really amazing. The game is so wonderfully melancholic and purposely drab in such a way that it just like really gets you thinking about the characters. The main character, Harold Halibut, um is he's kind of he's like he's a little bit daft, but he
Mhm.
has these sort of sparks of intelligence that like surprise you. Um but also at the same time, he is unrecognized for those moments of clarity in his thinking because people just automatically assume that he's just not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Right.
And so he does these really cool things, but he's unrecognized by his peers for it. And yeah, it's a really interesting story about friendship and relationships and life, and also about social responsibility and duty as a race. So it's like incredibly deep, but it's also a slow burn, which I love because it's like reading a good novel.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's all claymation, so the art style is absolutely phenomenal. And there's so many stupid things in it. Like I was sending you this slurry of screenshots one day about this stupid Turkish
Mhm.
drama romance show that was playing in the lounge. So Harold is a lab assistant. He works in the lab on the station. And there's a little lounge, like lunchroom. And so I went into the lunchroom, and you can sit down in the chair in the lunchroom, and it will pan to a cinematic view of the TV that's sort of mounted in the corner of the room. And I got to watching this Turkish like romance show for probably like a better part of 25 real minutes. And it was stupid because there was commercial breaks and I was watching all the commercials,
Uh-huh.
and like I had no idea what these people were saying because they were literally just speaking gibberish. And it was a guy and a girl, and it was some sort of love story, and she slapped him and she was so upset, and then there was a bunch of talking, and then all of a sudden at the end they made up and they were kissing and they rode off into the sunset together, and that was the end of the
Amazing.
show. And I was like, this is so stupid. I can't believe I spent 25 minutes of my life watching this. Ah,
Amazing.
it's so ridiculous. Um, they have so it's corporatized. So the station is run by the All Water Corporation,
Mhm.
and there is an infrastructure for transportation called the All Water Tube System. And you basically step into a tube and you get flushed down this tube like you're going down a toilet. And suddenly you magically end up in the next part of the station. It's so funny. But yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool game. I'm really enjoying it.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 recommend. It may make it into my game of the year for Stackies. Yeah.
Nice.
Other than that, I have been playing, like I said, Cyberpunk and just some of my usual games, but I've also been reading a lot of books. Today, I
Hmm.
just finished reading The Service Berry, which is Robin Wall Kimmerer's new book. She is the author of Braiding Sweetgrass. If you haven't read that, I highly recommend that you check it
I
out.
loved Braiding Sweetgrass. I
Um,
think the world would be a better place if more people read Braiding Sweetgrass.
yes, and I would say the same for The Service Berry. The Service Berry is definitely a little bit more political,
Hmm.
but she does talk about mostly the economy of gifting.
Interesting.
Sorry, the economics of gifting, or like gift economies. So the idea of like, you know, the service berry. So picking berries and then like making
Hmm.
a pie and then gifting the pie to so and so, and like how it like, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was really good.
Great.
How about you? What have you been up to?
I have not played really any games this week aside from Pokemon Go. Still playing some Pokemon Go, doing raids, doing community days and stuff. They had this New Year's event where they had a Wurmple in a glittery party hat, and the party hat is like bigger than the worm. And it was the funniest thing. And I made it a mission to try and get a shiny one. I did not get a shiny one, but I caught so many of those dadgum worms, and it was just a fun time. It was just so silly. It
Aw,
was so silly, and I really enjoyed it. And this weekend is going to be the Sprigatito Community Day, so we're going to go out for that and see if we can get some shiny Sprigatitos, and it'll be a good time. Um, and I have been amassing PC parts, and I have some good news. My processor, the last part I was waiting on, came in today.
excellent.
So hopefully this weekend we'll be able to get the thing assembled, and maybe this will be the last podcast from the old PC, which would be good because it almost disconnected me multiple times. I had a hard time running Google Docs today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
um, this is pretty good news. And I'm very excited to get this thing built and play some games.
Yes.
I have spent lots of time reading lately over my holiday free time. I have read so many books. Um, the final book in the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson released in December, and I was pretty excited about that. I've been following that series for many years. And I opened it up and I was reading like the summary on the book jacket, and I was like, wait, I don't recognize all these names. Wait, why is that person there? I don't remember that.
Oh no.
So I realized I had no idea what was going on, and I was gonna have to reread the series. So
That's terrible.
I finished The Way of Kings, the first one. You can see it behind me. That's Archon's copy on the bookshelf,
Nice.
which I borrowed and read. And now I'm reading Words of Radiance. And these are big, beefy books. So um, I also
Who would you say is your like absolute most favorite author of all time?
that's tough. That's really tough. But the answer is probably Stephen King.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Like any
Um,
specific Stephen King? Like do you have a specific one?
I'm gonna go with probably, if I have to pick a favorite Stephen King book, I'm probably gonna go with The Eyes of the Dragon, because I have sentimental value for that. My mom used to read that book to me when I was sick. So
Oh.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so what else have you been reading then?
I read a book called The Scarlet Throne by Amy Lau. And that was a really interesting book because it kind of reversed some tropes. Um, this Your protagonist is really the villain of the story. And it was really interesting the way that it was set up. I liked it. I hope that it gets a sequel.
Mm.
Um, let's see. I made my way through the new Percy Jackson book. I'm still reading those. Those are
Nice.
a fun time. Those are such a wholesome little read. And it was really cute. And I read The Gods Below by Alexandra. I can't remember the last name. Um, and that one I actually like, the publisher sent it to me because I'm an influencer.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, that was
Wow.
wild. What's the name on it? Alexandra Stewart, The Gods Below. And I've got to say, like, I at the risk of being a shill because they sent me this book, this one's like 9.5 out of 10. This was
Wow.
such a good book. I
Really?
cannot wait for the sequel. I loved this book.
What's it about?
It's like a post-apocalypse, but it's not in our world, it's in a fantasy world. So it's a post-apocalyptic fantasy book, and your characters are there's politics, like complicated politics that I loved. I love it when there are politics
What's
in
it
the
called
books.
again?
The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart. I called her Alexandra Stewart. Oops. Um, and there's like interesting relationships. And it's like I've read a bunch of like book talk popular books lately, and the relationships tend to be very like instantly in love and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in this book, the relationships built in a natural way, and it was so good. It's
Hmm.
just, it's brilliantly written. I
Hmm.
I, I loved this book. So glad that I read it. But yeah, that's my recent reads. I also read the new Janet Ivanovich book. Those are like detective stories. A lady bounty hunter has zany antics. The new one's called Now or Never. So
Hmm.
that was fun. Um,
I feel like you should be like Bill Gates and make a reading list for our listeners every year at the end of the year.
well, I mean, I could just post like my Goodreads list in the
Book
in the book
stack.
stack.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Post my Goodreads list.
Yeah.
Um, I I love to read so much, and I read a lot, and I always have this temptation to create some book content, to do some kind of book reviews or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I already don't have time for the gaming stuff that we already do. So,
And you're gonna have even less time with a
mhm,
new PC. So
yes.
yeah.
But yeah, I love books. That's all. That's what I've been doing.
Well, that's pretty much a show. Don't forget to join us. What is next week? The Stackies? Are we doing?
We probably could put together the stackies for next week. Um, we are closing in swiftly on episode 200.
I know. I know. It's like I know.
Wow. But we'll have to talk to our collaborators and see if they're available next week for Stackies. So maybe the Stackies next week, maybe not. We'll see.
Maybe not. Yes, we will keep you posted. But don't forget, the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. And thank you all for listening this evening. Don't forget to send in your mail to the Mailstack channel in the Discord. You can find Shalene at Shalene L and our We Just Love Games network channel on X. We're also on facebook.com/We Just Love Games, facebook.com/group/We Just Love Games. And we record the show live, hopefully every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And if you missed the show, that's okay. We are a podcast. So we do post the show to YouTube, iTunes, iHeart, Apple, Audible, and Spotify. Please like, subscribe, and review. We love to hear from you. Thank you all for listening. Shalene, what is your last word?
I'm getting married, you guys.
Da-dum, da-dum.